Hello and welcome to my news programme. This graph shows the economic growth of Brazil over the past 3 years. The economic growth rate is not a stable one and there are plenty of fluctuations. It even drops into a negative growth in the third quarter of 2011 and again here in the third quarter of 2013. In 2010 it was at a relatively high rate of 2%, however this began to fall throughout the year and into 2011 when it reached negative 0.1. As many of us know, Brazil won both of their campaigns for the 2014 and 16 World Cup and Olympics respectively. The best way to increase GDP is by spending money, and in order to host these two events, the government did have to greatly improve the infrastructure currently in place. As they knew about the successes early on, they began to build very early, as you can see by this peak here. This creates jobs for the builders, meaning there are fewer people unemployed claiming benefits and therefore more paying taxes, reducing the strain on government spending and increasing revenue raised through taxes. However, since then, the country has come back down to earth with a bump. In 2012, the economy. Hundreds of thousands took to the streets in June of 2012 in the biggest protest for a generation, complaining of high living costs, poor public services, and the greed and corruption of politicians. Many have now lost faith and, more importantly, confidence in their economy. All emerging... yes. But Brazil has done far too little to reform this in the past few years. It is not alone in this. India, for instance, acts in the same way, but Brazil's public sector imposes a particularly heavy burden on its private sector. Companies face the world's worst tax code. Payroll taxes actually add 58% to salaries, and the government has got its spending priorities upside down. Fortunately, Brazil does have good strengths. Thanks to efficient and entrepreneurial farmers, it is the world's third biggest food exporter. Even if the government has made the process slower and costlier than it needs to be, Brazil will be a huge oil exporter and also benefit from the two major tournaments they are hosting.
Neymar.